Imagine a world where there are no tools, no fire, no language, just raw survival. Now think about the leap from that primitive existence to the complex societies we live in today. This journey was made possible by a series of groundbreaking inventions, each one a stepping stone in the evolution of human civilization. Welcome to Zane Facts Channel, where we explore the fascinating history of the world's most significant inventions. From the first stone tools to the cutting-edge technologies of the 21st century, we'll uncover the stories behind these innovations and the impact they've had on our lives. So sit back, relax, and join us as we embark on this incredible journey through time. The history of invention begins with survival. The earliest humans, our ancestors from millions of years ago, lived in a world that was as dangerous as it was unforgiving. To survive, they needed to adapt, and the first step in that adaptation was the creation of tools. Around 2.6 million years ago, the first known stone tools were created by hominins in Africa. These tools, known as Oldowan tools, were simple but effective. They included sharp flakes used for cutting and chopping, as well as crude hammers made from stone. These tools allowed early humans to process meat, access marrow from bones, and perform other tasks essential for survival. It's interesting to note that the Oldowan tools were not just used for survival, they also marked the beginning of technological development. These tools were the first evidence of humans' ability to manipulate their environment to better suit their needs. Imagine trying to cut through the tough hide of a large animal without any tools. With just your hands, it would be nearly impossible. But with a sharp stone flake, early humans could efficiently butcher animals, gaining access to vital nutrients that fueled brain growth and development. Fire was another crucial invention in human history. Evidence of the controlled use of fire dates back to around 1.5 million years ago. Fire provided warmth, protection from predators, and a way to cook food, making it safer and easier to digest. It's fascinating to think that the control of fire may have also contributed to social development. Gathering around a fire could have encouraged communication and the sharing of knowledge, fostering the development of language and culture. Cooking food over a fire not only made it more palatable, but also reduced the risk of illness from pathogens. This simple act of cooking likely had profound effects on the health and longevity of early humans. With the invention of agriculture around 10,000 years ago, humans transitioned from a nomadic lifestyle to settled communities. This shift, known as the Neolithic Revolution, was one of the most significant in human history. The invention of the plow was a major milestone in agricultural development. Early plows were simple wooden sticks that could break up the soil, making it easier to plant seeds. This innovation allowed for the cultivation of larger areas of land, leading to increased food production and the growth of cities and civilizations. It's interesting to note that the plow not only transformed agriculture but also had a significant impact on social structures. As farming became more efficient, societies could support larger populations, leading to the development of complex social hierarchies and trade networks. Before the plow, farming was backbreaking work, requiring people to till the soil by hand. With the plow, one person could prepare a much larger area of land, increasing productivity and supporting the growth of large agricultural societies like those in Mesopotamia and Egypt. Irrigation was another critical agricultural invention. By controlling the flow of water to their crops, early farmers in places like the Fertile Crescent and the Nile Valley could ensure a more reliable food supply, even in arid regions. The development of irrigation systems allowed civilizations to flourish in areas that would otherwise have been uninhabitable, such as the deserts of ancient Egypt. The ancient Egyptians used an intricate system of canals and ditches to divert water from the Nile to their fields. This innovation turned the desert into fertile farmland, enabling the rise of one of the world's most powerful civilizations. As societies grew more complex, so did their needs for communication, transportation, and tools. The next great wave of inventions laid the groundwork for the rise of civilization. The invention of writing around 5,000 years ago in Mesopotamia was a turning point in human history. Writing allowed for the recording of laws, trade transactions, and religious texts, preserving knowledge for future generations. It's fascinating that the earliest form of writing, cuneiform, was developed by the Sumerians and involved pressing symbols into clay tablets. This system evolved over time into more complex scripts, such as the hieroglyphs of ancient Egypt. Without writing, the vast knowledge accumulated by early civilizations would have been lost. Writing allowed for the creation of complex legal codes, such as Hammurabi's Code, which provided a framework for governance that could be passed down through generations. The invention of the wheel, around 3500 BCE, revolutionized transportation. Initially used in pottery making, the wheel was soon adapted for use in carts and chariots, making it easier to move goods and people over long distances. It's amazing to think that the invention of the wheel was so transformative that it spread rapidly across the ancient world from Mesopotamia to Europe and Asia, facilitating trade and cultural exchange. Before the wheel, transporting goods was labor-intensive and time-consuming. The wheel allowed for the development of long-distance trade routes such as the Silk Road, connecting distant civilizations and fostering the exchange of goods, ideas, and technologies. The development of metallurgy, or the ability to work with metals, marked the beginning of the Bronze Age around 3300 BCE. Bronze, an alloy of copper and tin, was stronger and more durable than stone, leading to advancements in tools, weapons, and art. The discovery of how to smelt and forge metals allowed for the creation of more efficient tools and weapons, giving rise to powerful empires and militaries. The Sumerians, one of the earliest civilizations, used bronze to create plows, swords, and other tools that gave them an advantage in agriculture and warfare, helping to establish their dominance in the ancient world. The classical civilizations of Greece and Rome were renowned for their engineering and intellectual achievements, many of which continue to influence the modern world. The Romans were master engineers, and one of their most impressive inventions was the aqueduct. These massive structures carried water from distant sources into cities, supplying fountains, baths, and households. Some Roman aqueducts were over 50 miles long and used precise gradients to ensure a steady flow of water, demonstrating the advanced engineering skills of the time. The Pont du Gard in France, one of the best preserved Roman aqueducts, stands as a testament to the ingenuity and durability of Roman engineering. This structure not only supplied water but also served as a symbol of Roman power and civilization. In ancient Greece, Archimedes invented the screw pump, a device used to raise water from lower levels to higher ones. This invention was crucial for irrigation and draining land. The Archimedes screw is still used today in various applications, from irrigation systems to modern water treatment plants. The invention of the Archimedes screw allowed farmers in ancient Greece to irrigate their fields more effectively, increasing agricultural productivity and supporting the growth of the Greek city-states. The intellectual achievements of the classical world were not limited to engineering. Philosophers like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle laid the foundations for Western thought, while scientists like Ptolemy and Hippocrates made advances in astronomy and medicine. Aristotle's writings on logic, metaphysics, and ethics influenced not only ancient Greek thought but also medieval Islamic and Christian philosophy, shaping the intellectual landscape of the Western world. The works of Hippocrates, often called the father of medicine, introduced the idea that diseases were caused by natural factors, not divine punishment, laying the groundwork for modern medical science. The Middle Ages, often portrayed as a period of stagnation, were actually a time of significant technological innovation, particularly in Europe and the Islamic world. The invention of the heavy plow in medieval Europe allowed for the cultivation of the dense, clay-rich soils of northern Europe. This innovation led to increased agricultural productivity, which supported population growth and the expansion of medieval towns and cities. The heavy plow was so significant that it is often credited with helping to spur the agricultural revolution in northern Europe, leading to the rise of the manorial system and feudalism. Before the heavy plow, the light scratch plows used in the Mediterranean were ineffective in northern Europe's tougher soils. The heavy plow's ability to cut deep into the earth, turning over the rich, fertile soil, made it possible to farm vast new areas, leading to an agricultural boom. Windmills, which first appeared in Persia around the 9th century and later spread to Europe, were another medieval invention that revolutionized agriculture and industry. These structures used the power of the wind to grind grain, pump water, and even saw wood, reducing the labor needed for these tasks. The spread of windmill technology across Europe during the Middle Ages is a testament to the diffusion of knowledge and innovation through trade and conquest. In the Netherlands, windmills became iconic symbols of the country's landscape. These wind-powered machines were crucial for draining marshes and creating arable land, playing a significant role in the Dutch Golden Age. One of the most important inventions of the Middle Ages, the printing press, was invented by Johannes Gutenberg in the mid-15th century. This device allowed for the mass production of books, making literature and knowledge accessible to a much broader audience. Gutenberg's first major project was the printing of the Gutenberg Bible, which took 3 years to complete and produced 180 copies, an extraordinary feat at the time. The printing press played a crucial role in the spread of the Renaissance, the Reformation, and the scientific revolution. By making books more affordable, it enabled ideas to spread rapidly across Europe, challenging the established order and leading to profound cultural and intellectual changes. The Renaissance and Enlightenment periods were marked by a renewed interest in science, exploration, and the arts. During this time, numerous inventions transformed society, laying the groundwork for the modern world, the telescope expanding our view of the universe. In 1608, the Dutch inventor Hans Lippershey created the first practical telescope, which was soon improved upon by Galileo Galilei. The telescope allowed humans to observe celestial bodies in unprecedented detail, leading to major discoveries about the nature of the cosmos. Interesting fact: Galileo's use of the telescope provided evidence for the heliocentric model of the solar system, challenging the prevailing geocentric view and leading to significant conflicts with the Catholic Church. Example: with his telescope, Galileo discovered the moons of Jupiter, the phases of Venus, and the rings of Saturn, all of which supported the idea that the Earth was not the center of the universe. These discoveries were revolutionary and laid the groundwork for modern astronomy, the microscope unveiling the hidden world. Around the same time that the telescope was expanding our view of the universe, the microscope was opening up a new world of tiny organisms. Antony van Leeuwenhoek, a Dutch scientist, made significant improvements to the microscope, allowing him to observe bacteria, sperm cells, and blood cells for the first time. Interesting fact: van Leeuwenhoek's discoveries with the microscope provided the first evidence of the existence of microorganisms, laying the foundation for microbiology. Example: before the invention of the microscope, the existence of microscopic life was entirely unknown. Van Leeuwenhoek's observations revealed a previously invisible world, showing that life existed on scales far smaller than the human eye could see, profoundly changing our understanding of biology. The steam engine powering the Industrial Revolution. The invention of the steam engine by James Watt in the 18th century was one of the most important developments of the Industrial Revolution. The steam engine provided a new source of power, enabling the mechanization of factories, transportation, and agriculture. Interesting fact: the steam engine not only transformed industries but also had a profound impact on society, leading to urbanization, the growth of the working class, and significant changes in the social structure. Example: before the steam engine, factories were limited by the availability of water power, which confined them to specific locations. With steam power, factories could be built anywhere, leading to the rapid industrialization of cities like Manchester and Birmingham in England. The 19th and 20th centuries were periods of unprecedented technological advancement, with inventions that have fundamentally shaped the modern world. Electricity lighting up the world. The harnessing of electricity in the 19th century revolutionized every aspect of life. Thomas Edison's invention of the incandescent light bulb in 1879 made electric lighting practical and accessible, leading to the electrification of homes and cities around the world. Interesting fact: Edison's light bulb was just one of many innovations in the field of electricity during this time. Nikola Tesla's work on alternating current, AC, and the development of electric generators and motors by various inventors were equally transformative. Example: the introduction of electric lighting not only extended the working day but also improved safety, reduced pollution from oil lamps, and transformed urban environments, leading to the development of the modern cityscape, the telephone connecting the world. Alexander Graham Bell's invention of the telephone in 1876 was another milestone in communication technology. For the first time, people could communicate instantaneously over long distances, shrinking the world and making it more interconnected. Interesting fact, Bell's invention was initially met with skepticism, and it took several years before the telephone became widely adopted. However, once it did, it revolutionized business, personal communication, and even emergency services. Example: imagine a world without telephones, where messages had to be sent by mail or telegraph. The telephone transformed how people interacted, enabling real-time communication across continents, fostering global trade, diplomacy, and cultural exchange. The airplane taking to the skies. The Wright brothers' successful flight in 1903 marked the beginning of a new era in transportation. The airplane has since become one of the most important inventions in history, connecting distant parts of the world and enabling global travel and trade. Interesting fact: the first flight by the Wright brothers lasted just 12 seconds and covered 120 feet. Yet this brief moment in history paved the way for the development of commercial aviation and the globalized world we live in today. Example: the invention of the airplane has had far-reaching effects, from enabling mass tourism to revolutionizing warfare and global commerce. Today, air travel is an integral part of our lives, allowing us to cross the globe in hours rather than weeks or months. Penicillin, the dawn of modern medicine. The discovery of penicillin by Alexander Fleming in 1928 marked the beginning of the antibiotic era, revolutionizing medicine and saving countless lives. Penicillin was the first true antibiotic, and its discovery ushered in a new age of medicine, where bacterial infections could be effectively treated. Interesting fact: before the discovery of penicillin, bacterial infections were often deadly. The introduction of antibiotics transformed healthcare, leading to the development of numerous other life-saving drugs. Example: penicillin played a crucial role during World War II, where it was used to treat wounded soldiers, preventing infections and saving lives. The widespread use of antibiotics in the post-war era led to dramatic reductions in mortality from infectious diseases, contributing to the increase in life expectancy during the 20th century. The invention of the computer and the subsequent development of the Internet are arguably the most transformative inventions of the 20th century. They have reshaped every aspect of society, from how we work and communicate to how we learn and entertain ourselves. The computer, a new era of information. The development of the first electronic computers during World War II marked the beginning of the digital age. These early machines, like the ENIAC, were massive and expensive, but they paved the way for the development of smaller, more powerful computers in the following decades. Interesting fact: the invention of the transistor in 1947 was a key development that made modern computers possible. Transistors allowed for the miniaturization of electronic circuits, leading to the creation of the first personal computers in the 1970s and 1980s. Example: consider the impact of computers on fields like science, engineering, and medicine. The ability to perform complex calculations quickly and accurately has led to breakthroughs in everything from space exploration to genetic research, transforming our understanding of the world. The Internet, connecting the globe. The creation of the Internet in the late 20th century was another monumental invention. Originally developed as a way for researchers to share information, the Internet has grown into a global network that connects billions of people and devices. Interesting fact: the World Wide Web, invented by Tim Berners-Lee in 1989, made the Internet accessible to the general public. It allowed users to easily navigate and share information, leading to the explosion of online content and services. Example: the Internet has transformed nearly every aspect of modern life, from how we communicate and do business to how we access information and entertainment. The rise of social media, e-commerce, and online education are just a few examples of how the Internet has reshaped the world. Smartphones, the ultimate convergence. The invention of the smartphone in the early 21st century represents the culmination of decades of technological advancements in computing, telecommunications, and digital media. Combining the functionality of a computer, a telephone, a camera, and more into a single device, smartphones have become an indispensable part of modern life. Interesting fact: the first true smartphone, the IBM Simon, was introduced in 1992. It featured a touchscreen, email capability, and a suite of apps, a revolutionary concept at the time. Example: the impact of smartphones is seen everywhere today. From enabling instant communication and access to information to transforming industries like photography, navigation, and entertainment, smartphones have profoundly reshaped daily life. Social media, online shopping, and even remote work are all made possible by the convenience and power of smartphones. As we look to the future, the pace of technological innovation shows no signs of slowing down. New inventions are constantly emerging, promising to change the world in ways we can only imagine. Artificial intelligence, the next frontier. Artificial intelligence, AI, is one of the most exciting and potentially transformative technologies of our time. From self-driving cars to advanced robotics and personalized medicine, AI has the potential to revolutionize many aspects of society. Interesting fact: AI is already being used in everyday applications like virtual assistants, for example Siri, Alexa, and recommendation algorithms on streaming platforms. However, its potential goes far beyond these uses, with ongoing research aiming to create systems that can learn, reason, and even create new ideas. Example: in healthcare, AI is being used to develop diagnostic tools that can detect diseases like cancer more accurately than human doctors. In the future, AI could help solve some of the world's biggest challenges, from climate change to resource scarcity, by optimizing processes and discovering new solutions. Renewable energy, powering a sustainable future. As concerns about climate change grow, the development of renewable energy technologies is becoming increasingly important. Innovations in solar, wind, and other renewable energy sources are helping to reduce our reliance on fossil fuels and pave the way for a more sustainable future. Interesting fact: the cost of solar power has decreased by more than 80% in the last decade, making it one of the most affordable sources of energy in many parts of the world. Example: advances in battery technology are enabling the storage of renewable energy, making it possible to use solar and wind power even when the sun isn't shining or the wind isn't blowing. This is crucial for creating a reliable and sustainable energy grid that can meet the needs of a growing global population. We will conclude our journey here. If you have liked the content, subscribe to the Zane Facts channel, like this video, and share it with your friends and family. Don't forget to press the bell icon. See you tomorrow.